Just I am considering few problems in the computer graphics, and so far we will solve some numericals in computer graphics in unit number 2, 3 and 4. So the first numerical here, calculate the points between the starting coordinates 20, 10 and ending coordinates 30, 18. So this is the problem here. Now we want to draw the straight line between these 2 points. So first point, that is the initial points are 20, 10 and ending coordinates 30, 18. Because here there is no any methods mentioned, so that you can calculate with the help of that. Now you have the right freedom. You can choose any method. You can adopt any method to calculate the points between the starting coordinates and ending coordinates. So these are the points here. Now you have to draw the line between these 2 lines. So the starting coordinates we can indicate as x naught comma y naught, that is the initial coordinates, x0 comma y0, 20 comma 10, and ending coordinates, that is the final coordinates, xn comma yn. These are the final coordinates 30 comma 18. Now we will start our journey from 20 comma 10, that is from the initial coordinates, and we will reach up to xn comma yn, that is the final points given already mentioned in the problem 30 comma 18. So there is no role of the final points whenever we are going to calculate the next point, that is we will start from the initial point, then the first point, second point, and so on. But whenever we are going to calculate delta x and delta y, then there is a need to use the final points. And after that, just we will start from the initial points and we will reach up to the final points. So first, whenever you will use any method, okay, whether it is a symmetrical DDA, simple DDA, or the Bressenham algorithm, okay, first we will calculate delta x and delta y. So the value of delta x, how we will calculate? Final points minus initial point. यानी कि final value of the x and initial value of the x. So because we are going to calculate delta x, then the value of delta x 30 comma was 30 minus 20. Okay. Final point is xn is equal to 30 and x0 is equal to 20. So we will get here 10. So delta x, we will get 10. Delta y, similarly, you can calculate yn minus y0. That is the final value of the y minus initial value of the y. And here we will get 8. So this is mandatory and you will calculate in each and every method. Now calculate here, if you are using the Bressenham algorithm, then calculate the D initial and delta D. So D initial 2 into delta y minus delta x, we will get here 6, and delta D, the formula is 2 into within bracket delta y minus delta x. So this value you will get as minus 4, and D initial as per formula 2 into delta y minus delta x. So we will get the here 6. Now we will check D initial greater equal to 0 or less than 0. Okay. So if it is greater than or equal to 0, then we will use here the method given below. Xk plus 1, that is the value of xk plus 1 is equal to xk plus 1. Okay. And in this case, we will get here the value of initial value, you can see here 20. Okay. Plus we will add 1. Similarly, yk plus 1 is equal to yk plus 1 here. So again we will consider the here initial value, that is the, now we can see here 10 and plus 1 as per formula. So here we will calculate the next value of x and y, that is xk plus 1 and yk plus 1. So we will get as 21 and 11. Now again calculate the value of d new, that is the value of d. Here d is, we will use as the error term. Okay, this is the error term, and after calculate the next value of x and y, we will again and again check the value of d. Okay, so we will calculate the value of d new, and d new as per formula it is equal to d initial plus delta d. So d initial we already know. We are checking the condition. If d initial greater equal to 0, then we will apply here as given below. And again we will calculate the value of d. So every time we will again calculate the value of d. So d new is equal to d initial plus delta d. Now we can see here d initial plus delta d. So d initial is, now you can see as d initial here given. Now you can see here as per formula 2 delta y minus delta x. So this is 6 and delta d is minus 4. So with the help of the formula, you can already calculate the value of d initial and delta d. So after calculating d initial, we will check the sign of d initial. Okay, whether it is greater equal to 0 or less equal to 0, less than 0. Okay, so here d initial we will put, and delta d is equal to minus 4. So to calculate the new value of d, here the formula is d initial plus delta d. Now you can put 6 plus minus 4, you will get here 2. Okay, so d new, here we are again getting 2. So similarly we will proceed. Again we will calculate the value of x k plus 2 and y k plus 2. Okay, and here we will put the value of x k plus 1 here, suffix k plus 1 will come here, and again we will add plus 1. So the next value will come. Now you can add and check whether it is greater than 0 and less than 0. And finally we will get this table. So you can proceed. You first calculate here d initial, d new, the formulas are already given. Xk plus 1, the formula is given xk plus 1, and yk plus 1 is y suffix k plus 1 is equal to y, k will come in suffix and operator symbol plus here and then 1. Okay, so similarly we can calculate. First we will write the initial value of x and y here, and after that we will add here 1 as per formula. Okay, now you can calculate the value of d initial again and again, and it will depend on the sign of the d. Okay, greater than 0 or less than 0, so that you can choose the new value of d, and as per formula you can calculate each and every time the value of xk plus 1 and similarly xk plus 2 and so on, and you can replace the value again and again and you will get this table. So at the end, you will draw a table and put the corresponding values of xk plus 1 and yk plus 1 each time, and also write here the new values of d. So initial. Okay, so every time it will also change, and you can calculate d initial, what value you are considering, and then calculate with the help of the formula the value of d new each and every time. And then you can construct a table, design a table, and then insert all the values, whatever calculated by you. So in this manner, with the help of this, you can draw the plot here. Now, here you can check, you can consider the maximum value of x and maximum value of y. Okay, so that you can consider x axis and y axis and consider the maximum value of x and maximum value of y, so that here you can see this is a line, such type of line is coming, and this line how will you get? With the help of the points which are already stored by you in the table. Okay, so with the help of all those points, finally you have to draw the graph on the graph paper, the line. So you will use here the Bressenham algorithm to draw the straight line. And here you can see it is almost you can say straight line, but not you can say 100% straight line. Now you are getting the line here in the three pieces, and it is not perfectly straight line. So we will use the Bressenham symmetrical algorithm, and simple DDA. With the help of the simple DDA and symmetrical DDA, we can also draw the straight line. But out of these three algorithms, Bressenham algorithm is the best, because in this case there is no repetition of points again and again. But here there is a one problem. There is an involvement of the more calculation here, and again there is an involvement of the division method. So we will try here to change the division into the multiplication. So we will write the equation in the form of the multiplication, and we will try to avoid the involvement of the division methodology. So here we can also see that due to the involvement of the division, the calculation is complex and time taking. But the repetition of points whenever we are going to draw the straight line is not like as in case of the symmetrical DDA or the simple DDA. So to avoid the repetition of points, we will use the Bressenham algorithm even though it is complex. Okay, because here there is an involvement of the division methodology. So it will take more time as compared to the preceding algorithm, that is the symmetrical DDA as well as the simple DDA. Now another, here you can see another problem. Calculate the points between the starting coordinates 5, 9 and ending coordinates 12, 16. And ultimately calculate the point means just you are going to draw the straight line. Okay. So with the help of here, again you can use any method and draw the straight line either by using symmetrical DDA or simple DDA or Bressenham algorithm. So you are aware by all these three methods. Now you can use any three methods Okay, to calculate the coordinates between the initial and final points, and finally you have to draw the straight line. Okay, now again, first you will write starting coordinates as the preceding case, x0, y0, ending coordinates xn, yn, and again we will calculate delta xn minus x0, delta yn minus y0, and we will calculate the value of delta x and delta y. So again, we will calculate the value of D initial and the delta D. The formula for the D initial is 2 into delta y minus delta x, and put the value of delta y and delta x. So we can calculate the value of the D initial, where D initial is the error term, which we will calculate again and again. Similarly, delta D we can calculate with the help of the formula that is given by the Bresenham algorithm, 2 into delta y minus delta x. Now we will calculate the value of delta D with the help of this formula. Okay, so here whenever we are going to calculate the coordinate point, it will depend on the value of the D initial value of the error term D here. Okay, so in some books, uh, the D initial will be considered as the small e. Okay, in some books, the nomenclature is different, and this is shown by small e, that is the error term. Here, it is indicated by the D. D is the error term here because this is the Bresenham algorithm, and we will use first D initial and delta D. So don't bother with the nomenclature. Nomenclature may be different. Okay, if you will consider some English author books, then you can see the nomenclature will be little bit different. Okay, but the terminology, whatever we are using in these algorithms, those are same. Okay, like here D in error term, just we are indicating with the help of the D and delta D, but in that case small e. Okay, so this is up to the authors and also up to um, the programmer or the software engineer which are implementing the algorithm. So nomenclature will depend on the author or either on the software engineer or the programmer. Now, similarly, we can calculate the number of points. Okay, like similar case, we have already done one problem. So we will calculate the value of xk plus 1 and yk plus 1, and we will calculate again d new and d initial, and at the end we will prepare the table here, d initial, d new, xk plus 1, yk plus 1, and with the help of these new points, and we will calculate up to whenever we will reach the final points. Okay, as you will reach up to the final point, then stop your problem there. Okay, no need to calculate again the value of the d initial and the d new. So this is the methodology, and with the help of this, again we will design with the help of the coordinates, which we will calculate, and at the end, finally we will draw a straight line. Okay, and now you can see here, this is the maximum value of the x. So with the help of the coordinates, you can choose what is the maximum value, and even you can consider more than that, so that you can easily put the sign here. Okay, so this is the maximum value, and again here you can see this is the maximum value on the y axis. You can choose any scale here, it is up to you. As per your convenience, you can choose the scale. Okay, and just consider some maximum. It is similar to the as whenever you are going to do some sort of practicals, then at the end you will draw the graph between the two identities. That is, suppose you are going to prove the Ohm's law, then you will plot the graph between the voltage and the current, and you can consider on the x-axis the current or on y-axis voltage. It is up to you. And also you can consider the scale as per your convenience. Okay, and it will depend on the uh, whatever the points you are getting with the help of the practical. Okay, whatever the values you are getting, the maximum value and minimum value, and on that behalf you can consider those values and you can choose the scale. Okay, now finally we will draw the graph with the help of the coordinates you have already calculated with the help of the formulas. Now again there is a one problem you can see here. So these all problems uh, you have to solve for your practice. Now the coordinates again change 9, comma 18 and 14, comma 22. So I will like to say that you have to calculate all these points by using all three methods. Okay, don't use only one method, Bressenham's algorithm every time. Okay, you can also use all methods. So far, you have studied symmetrical DDA and simple DDA for your practice. Okay. So in the exam, whenever you will get the such type of numerical, then you can solve easily by any method. If the examiner is mentioning the method, then you will use only that method. Otherwise, you can solve. You have the right. You have the freedom to solve your problem by using any three methods. So you can choose any one method out of three. Okay. So I think you are already aware by the symmetrical DDA. In symmetrical DDA, first we will calculate the value of n. N is the integer, and how you will calculate the value of n with the help of the epsilon. That is the error term, minimum value. Okay. So epsilon, what is the formula? Epsilon is equal to 1 over delta x or delta y. That is called the line length estimate. Okay, where delta x and delta y is the line length estimate. So you can write epsilon is equal to 1 over 2 to the power n equal to 1 over delta x or delta y. Okay, so you can say that epsilon is equal to 2 to the power minus n. And if we are using the symmetrical DDA methodology, then you are already aware by the one inequality we have already studied regarding that in the symmetrical DDA, that is 2 to the power n minus 1 less equal to what is the maximum value of, okay, mod delta x comma delta y and bracket, then less than 2 to the power n. So we will use this inequality. So with the help of this inequality, we will calculate the value of n just by using hit and trial method. Okay. After calculating this inequality, we will get the value of n. Then we will calculate the value of epsilon delta x and then epsilon delta y. Okay. So with the help of the value of n, we can calculate epsilon is equal to 1 over 2 to the power n. Suppose we are getting n is equal to 4, then epsilon is equal to 1 over 2 to the power n means 1 over 16. And with the whenever we will calculate the value of epsilon, then we can calculate the value of the epsilon delta x and epsilon delta y. So first, we will write the initial coordinates. After that, we will add 0.5 to x value and y value. Okay, so initial we will add 0.5 to each. First we will write the initial coordinates and after that we will add 0.5 to each value. Okay, after that you can proceed, add the value of epsilon into delta x to each x value and the value of epsilon delta y we will add to each y value, and similarly we can proceed, add every time, and we will proceed up to the final value, and we will proceed up to the final value. Okay, now we will again construct the table, and with the help of the table we will draw the graph. Okay, so we will draw the graph with the help of the values, and we can use the symmetrical DDA in this way. And in case of the simple DDA, there is a little bit difference than the symmetrical DDA. In symmetrical DDA, the calculation is complex because first we will solve the inequality. But in case of the simple DDA, first we will check which value is greater, either delta x or delta y. If delta x is greater than, then we will calculate epsilon value. Epsilon is equal to 1 over delta x, and we will consider epsilon into delta x is equal to 1. Okay, epsilon into delta x is equal to 1. So if delta x is greater than delta y, then we will add 1 to each value of x every time. Okay, suppose initial value of x is 3. So first we will add 0.5 to x and y. So second coordinate whenever we will write after the initial, suppose initial value of x and y is 3, comma 5. Okay, so then we will write initial value as 3 and 5, and after that we will add 0.5 to each value. So second coordinate we can write, second value we can write as 3.5 and 5.5 like that. And after that, the third value whenever we are going to calculate, then we will add 1. Okay, then in the x value we will write 3.5, after 3.5, 4.5, 5.5, 6.5, 7.5, 8.5 and so on, and we will add 1 up to whenever we will reach to the final point of the x axis. Similarly, the value of y, how we will calculate with the help of the formula epsilon, and we will calculate the value of epsilon into delta y. Okay, because we know the value of epsilon, then we can easily calculate epsilon into delta y, and then same value delta y we have already calculated y2 minus y1 like that. Okay, or we can say yn minus y0. That is the same thing. And then we will add the epsilon delta y to each value of y, and we can calculate this. Hopefully, you can do such type of numericals. These are not so much difficult. Okay, so please try to solve all these numericals with the help of all three methods. So solve each problem with all the three methods, that is the simple DDA, symmetrical DDA, and Gresham algorithm. Okay, so try to do all the problems using these three methods so that you can do a good practice, and no need to remember the formulas. Just whenever you will do such type of numericals again and again, then itself, you can retain in your brain. Okay, so do more practice to solving such type of numericals. Now here, similarly, as you have already done, you can calculate. This is just the preceding methodology, and here you can calculate the values of this, and ultimately you will get the graph here. Okay, you will get the straight line. Similarly, another question here. You have already studied about these Bresenham algorithm. Now you can calculate. So no problem, I think, will come to solving such type of numericals. Here also you can see the same problem you can solve. Just there is a change in the points. Okay, so don't worry, please. Now you can calculate easily. You have already studied about all the methodology. Just I am changing the points again and again. Okay, so try to do such type of numericals. These are easy. Okay, so hopefully you will try all these numericals. And now just I am leaving here because the next problem is based on the unit number 3, that is the 2D and 3D computer graphics. So try to solve only these numericals. Just I am changing only the coordinates again and again. And so far you have already studied all the methods. If you have any problem, then please ask regarding any methods. If you want to ask or you want to solve the numericals on the basis of the simple DDA, symmetrical DDA, and Bresenham algorithm, and you have any problem, then please you can ask to me. Okay, and please solve all these 7 problems which I have shown here. So just I am changing the coordinates, nothing else. But here you have to try to solve each problem with all 3 methods. Okay, it means 21 problems you have to solve. So please do the practice. And if any problem will come, if you feel any problem, then please write to me. Okay, on our WhatsApp group. Okay, so please ask if you have any problem. You have the idea about all these 3 methods. Now you can solve hopefully. And best of luck for your today's Java Lab Viber. Any question, please? Any query? Any query, please? आवाज पहुंच रही है या नहीं पहुंच रही है, मुझे मालूम नहीं है। आवाज जा रही है भाई?
यस सर, आ रही है।
हाँ, तो फिर कुछ कम लोग हो गए, इधर चले गए, इसलिए अटेंडेंस मैंने आप लोगों की ले ली है भाई। आई हैव ऑलरेडी टेकन दैट।
सर ये पीपीटी अपलोड कर दिएगा सर, ये वाली क्वेश्चंस वाली।
अच्छा, ठीक है, ओके, ठीक है। तो आप लोग इसे सोल्व करें और बताएं, अगर प्रॉब्लम आए तो आप पूछ सकते हैं, ऐसा नहीं है, स्क्रीन आप शेयर करवा के पूछ सकते हैं हमसे। ओके, इफ यू फील एनी प्रॉब्लम, if you are unable to understand these numericals or you are unable to understand the methodology or the formulas, how we will solve by using the symmetrical DDA or simple DDA or Bresenham, then you can share your screen and can ask. No problem at all, nothing. Even you can write to me on WhatsApp. Okay, we have the WhatsApp group. Then you can write to me and ask. And also you can also come in in my chamber one by one, and then you can ask. Okay, only
असाइनमेंट सब सेंड करेंगे सर आप?
हेलो, यस।
असाइनमेंट कब देंगे सर आप बच्चों को?
असाइनमेंट बच्चों को हम यही किसी हफ्ते दे देंगे होपफुली। ओके
जी सर।
हाँ,